Welcome to the digital rendition of the Signed and Sealed exhibit. This exhibit showcases a collection of Scottish charters that are located in the University of Guelph Archives.
Our Scottish Studies collection is extensive and is one of the largest such collections outside of the UK. The earliest items in the collection date from the 14th century and the latest to the current day. The collection was started in the mid-1960s by Dr. Stanford Reed in order to support the newly established Scottish Studies program at the University of Guelph. Some of the strengths of the collection include Scottish land charters, chapbooks, documents and books on immigration and settlement, materials on the Jacobite rebellions, and travel and tourism.
The exhibit catalogue, which highlights some of the items in the Campbell of Many collection, demonstrates to good effect the ways in which students and researchers in the 21st century can engage directly with the medieval and early modern past. They can literally hold history in their hands. The collection itself is unique in Canada, in its extent, in its chronological reach, and not least in its focus on a part of the Scottish kingdom that straddled the Highland-Lowland divide.
The charters in our collection can tell us a lot about the study of biocodecology. Some of our charters were sent to a lab to be tested, yielding some very surprising results.
So biocodecology is the biological study of the genetic material of parchment charters. And that's possible because these parchment charters were made from animal skins, and they still contain the DNA of those animals that lived in Scotland, 600-700 years ago. And because that DNA has persisted up till today, we can now collect that DNA and assemble a genetic profile of the animals that lived back in medieval Scotland. Of the samples that we sent down, we received positive results for about half the charters, and we were able to determine that 2 of them were made from cowhide, 2 from sheep hide, and then 2 from goat hide, which was the more unusual of the 3 results, because typically that's associated, goat parchment is associated with the Mediterranean and not Northern Europe.
Firstly, I've really found over the last couple of years that that using old original sources in teaching is so important for attracting students to medieval and early modern history. I mean, these charters are that date from the early 14th century. They're even a good century and a half older than the documents that I use in my own research, and it's just so exciting to be able to kind of connect with them, to be able to touch them. I think more and more historians and students of history are moving to using digitized sources, and they're easily accessible, and it's great for it's great for an historian to be able to kind of blow them up and be able to read them better, and to read them from your own living room. But actually connecting with original physical medieval sources is it's so important to kind of just inspire enthusiasm among students. And so I think it's really great that we have these sources in our collection at the university, because it means that we can kind of expose more students to original primary medieval sources and hopefully kind of inspire more historians.
Thank you for visiting the Signed and Sealed exhibit.